प्रियौ प्रियकरौ निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ श्री चैतन्य कृपाभरौ भुवि भुव भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनं रघुजगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ कृष्ण कीर्तन कानन तन परौ प्रेमामृताम्बनी धीरा धीर जन प्रियौ प्रियकरौ निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ नाना शास्त्र विद्वान् तद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मन्नौ शरण्यागतौ नाना शास्त्र विद्वान् तद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मन्नौ शरणागतौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजनानन्देन मत्वालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनं रघुजगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ कृष्ण कीर्तन गान तन परौ प्रेमामृताम्बनी
こえません。ハレクシナ。マイクがミュートになっているのではないでしょうか。
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 15, entitled Narada and Angira Instruct King Chitraketu. Text number 3.
6の50の3です。ナラダが、人だけするように、教えを授けるところです。
Yata,
Yata,
just as,
just as.
Prayanti,
やめらまたじ、始めます。
はい、すみません。
どうぞ。
Prayanti, move apart.
離れて動く。
Samyanti.
Samyanti.
Come together.
Come together.
一緒に来て、
一緒にして。
Shrotavegena. Waves.
波の力で、
波の力で。
Balukaha.
バカ。
砂の小さな粒子、
They are united.
彼らは統一
Yujante.
なんて、彼らは分かれている。また、同様に、あれな、時間によって、
Dehina. The living entities who have accepted material bodies.
物質的肉体を受け入れた生き物。
So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Oh, let's say the verse first. Yatha pranti samyanti shroto vegena balukaha samyujante yujante tatakale hinaha. The small particles of sand sometimes come together and are sometimes separated due to the force of the waves. Where have accepted material bodies sometimes come together and are sometimes separated.
第3節、王様、砂の小さな粒子があるときは一緒になり、またあるときには波の力によって離れてしまうように、物質的肉体を受け入れた生命体も、時には一緒に流され、一緒にされ、時には時間の力によって離されたりします。解説。
The misunderstanding of the conditioned soul is the bodily conception of life. The body is material, but within the body is the soul. This is spiritual understanding. Unfortunately, one who is in ignorance, under the spell of material illusion, accepts the body to be the self. He cannot understand that the body is matter. Like small particles of sand, bodies come together and are separated by the force of time. And people falsely lament for unification and separation. Unless one knows these, there is no question of happiness. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 2.13, this is the first instruction given by the Lord. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The soul is not bewildered by such a chain. We are not the body, we are spiritual beings trapped in the body. Our real interest lies in understanding this simple fact. Then we can make further spiritual progress. Otherwise, if we remain in the bodily conception of life, our miserable material existence will continue forever. Political adjustments, social welfare work, medical assistance, and other programs we have manufactured for peace and happiness will never endure. We should have to undergo the sufferings of material life one after another. Therefore, material life is said to be Dukkha Shashvata. It is reservoir of all of miserable conditions.
どうぞ。
条件付けられた魂の誤った理解は生命の肉体的概念である。この肉体は一時的であるが、肉体の中にいるのは魂である。これは精神的理解である。不幸にも無知なる人は物質的現象の呪いにかけられ、肉体を自己であると考えている。肉体が物質であることが理解できない。小さな砂の粒子のように、時間の力によって肉体は一緒になったり離れたりする。そして人は結合と別離を本当だと思って嘆く。 故にバガバットギーター2章13節で最初の教えとして主はおっしゃっている。肉体をまとった魂は幼年、青少年を過ごして老年に達し、死ぬと同時にすぐ他の体に移る。自己の本性を知る魂はこの変化に惑わされない。私たちは肉体ではない。私たちは肉体の中に閉じ込められている精神的存在である。私たちの本当の関心は、この簡単な事実の中にある。それからさらなる精神的前進をする。そうでなければ、命の肉体概念の中にとどまって、惨めな物質存在が永遠に続く。平和と幸せのために作った政治的調整、社会福祉の仕事、医療的補助やその他の計画は決して持続しない。物質生活の苦しみを次から次へと耐え忍ばなければならない。故に物質的生活は何々と言われている。つまり苦しい状況の貯水池であると。
Yata pyanti samyanti shoto vegena balukaha viyujante tata kalena dehinaha. O king, as the small particles of sand sometimes come together and are sometimes separated due to the force of the waves, the living entities who have accepted material bodies sometimes come together and sometimes separated and are sometimes separated by the force of time. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Guru Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Narada Muni and Angira Rishi, in order to enlighten the king, they present the basic, the most essential philosophy about the nature of the living being.
アンギラ医師は、王様へ、教えを授けました。それは精神的な哲学の基本で、この生命体の傾向について言っています。
The basic cause of our sufferings within this material world is the idea that material body.
この基本的な概念は、この物質の体が自分であるという、そういう考え方です。
By the nature, the soul is described to be Sat, Chit, and Ananda.
この魂の性質はサッタチッタアナンダです。
Material body is Asat, Achit, and Nirananda.
しかし、この物質の体はアサット、アチット、アニラーナンダと言います。
Material body is temporary, it is full of ignorance, and there is no bliss, there is just suffering.
この物質の体は一時的で、苦しみに満ちています。
So when the eternal soul, which is full of knowledge and bliss, identifies with something that is absolutely contrary to its nature, happiness.
ですから、この永遠の魂は、至福に満ちているものです。
So there is a paradox.
パラダイス、パラドックス。それは矛盾。矛盾なわけです。本当はそうなのにそうではないということは矛盾です。
Anandamaya Vyasat. By nature, living entity is full of happiness. And then when it comes to this material world and identifies with material body, which is just the opposite, then it experiences a lot of contradictions, a lot of sufferings.
ですから、この我々の性質も喜びにしているわけなのですが、この物質界に落ちる以外には体が自分だと思うので、そうすると逆に苦しみの世界になってしまいます。
So to consider the body to be the self is actually the prime cause of our bondage within this material world.
原因はこの体が自分であるというそういう認識です。
And as long as there is the
circumstance, that is the situation that we are in, and we accept it as the reality, then we will have to undergo all the miseries of the material nature.
そういう、こういう、真実をから離れてしまう、そういう状況で、この物質伝の惨めさを受け入れなければならなくなってしまう。
Namely, the birth, old age, disease, and death, adhyatmika, devautika, didayvika.
小老病死、時代、天変地変、自分の体の弱さ、自然から与えられる苦しみ、その3つと小老病死で苦しめられます。
So all of those sufferings come along with the body.
この苦しみはみんな体にまつわる苦しみです。
But as soon as the living entity, platform of the soul, then he's not affected by any of them.
生命体が魂に移れば、そういう苦しみから、即座に自由になります。
Now we know the principle of pavarga,
パワルガの原則
path of pavarga.
を我々は知っています。
That is the path of bondage within the material world.
この物質世界に縛られる一つの要因です。
The living entity is bound by various activities, identifying himself with the body through various activities, identifying.
生命体が体を自分だと同一視すれば、この世界に自動的に縛られて活動を繰り返し縛られます。
So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam advises everyone that they should stop following the path of Varga, but rather start practicing and following the path of Apavarga. Apavargas, yeah.
ですから、シマルバーガーでは、すべての生命体はこの物質世界でパバルガの活動を止めて、アパバルガの生活に入るべきだと。
Shukadev Goswami explained to Parikshit,
シュカデバのスワミがパリクシットマーラに言ってます。
path that King Chitraketu and Queen Kritadyuti were undertaking.
チトラケとクリタデビが、これらに語っているわけです。
Because within the word Pavarga stands for Parishram or hard labor.
ハートレイバー。
Pa stands for Parishram or hard labor.
ハートレイバー。
Hard labor, hard.
Hard.
Working very intensely.
すごく重労働という意味です。
Other meanings, which means that you cannot conquer over birth, old age, disease, and death. You fail to conquer over those.
もう一つの意味は、この小老病死を駆逐できないという意味です。
Then Pa stands for Fena, which means, since you're working so hard, to that extent that the foam comes out of your mouth, like when horses work very hard, the foam comes out.
あとは、とても重労働するので、馬がよく口から泡を出しますが、そのように泡が出る。
So we see this is the situation with this material world. It's just everybody's really working hard. They're forced to work hard, even though they might not want to work hard.
そんなに本当に強力に働きたくないんですけど、この物質世界にいればそういう状況が与えられてしまいます。
How often we say, "Oh, I don't have time for spiritual."
いや、もう精神生活の時間なんてありませんよ。
I'm so busy maintaining this body.
自分の体を維持するのに忙しいです。
I'm so busy, doing so many activities that are in relationship to this body.
この自分の体の関係におけることで忙しくて、それどころじゃないと。
No time for chanting, no time for association, no time to come to temple.
考えたり、交際したり、お寺に来る、そんな時間はありませんよって言います。
I'm so busy.
私はすごく忙しいのです。
And we see, of course, that this is something that is very much exploited also by the owners of the companies or whatever system it's there. They're just trying to extract as much energy as possible from anyone.
もちろん社会と会社ではそのように強制されてしまうわけです。
It is the nature. And of course, I said the mentality, I don't know how it's here in Japan, but the mentality of the worker is also to work as less as possible and get paid as much as possible.
日本でそういう状況ですね。
Less work, more salary.
もっと働かないで、たくさんのお金が我々が欲しいわけです。
But actually, anymore, this is not possible almost practically anymore by the whole system where
シ
people
ステ
are
ムが確立されてますから、それは無理なんです。
well, people are so deeply indoctrinated with, just that the whole system of education is imposed upon them that they undergo such kind of activities.
今日そのように我々は社会に教育されてますから、そのように強制されてしまうわけです。
So they think that if they don't act in such a manner that they can't just survive, that they can't live.
いろんな活動しなければ自分は生きていけないと、そういうふうに考える。
Compare themselves with others, then they also consider that they are failure unless they act as everybody else is acting.
Can you break the same thing?
Okay. And when they compare themselves to others,
他の人
because
た
they
ち
are
と
comparing,
比較して、
because they're comparing themselves to others, then therefore, if they don't act the way the others do,
他の人と同じように活動しなければ、
then they don't consider that they fit within the same society. They consider themselves failures.
社会から落ちこぼれてしまうと、そういうふうに考える。
So this is why at any cost they just try to, become, the one with so many. Means they just they want to be the part of that society.
ですからみんな、この社会の部分として、
Which is actually all designed to exploit people.
すべてのデザイン、作りは、エクスプロイト、壊されていると言います。
Like Srila Prabhupada said, in India, how did Mayavad philosophy became very prominent?
インドでは、ブラパーで言ってますが、プロパー、プロミント、マヤバディが、どういう意味が出てくるかと。
It's just so easy because, what is the philosophy? Philosophy is you're God. You can be God.
あなたは神
You
になる
just
と。
forgot about it.
神になれますよと、そういう宣言をする。
So it sounds very attractive.
それはなんか耳にね、すごく心地よいわけです。
Who here doesn't want to be God? This is why we came to material.
誰がそういうことを聞きたくないんですか？世界の人のそのためですよ。
So then, those people who are very, good Vaishyas, very intelligent Vaishyas, they understood, how they can utilize this philosophy for their own interests.
ワイシャー、そういうふうな人たちは哲学を自己流に解釈してしまう。
So then they hired
都合のいいように。
all the big Mayavadi sannyasis. They paid them
マヤバディサニヤシが存在しています。
to start preaching about industrialization.
そのように、そのような方法でマヤバディのプリーチング、説教をします。
This is what Srila Prabhupada said. He said all this Sinmayananda and so many others. It's like
シマヤナだとか。
Sin, Sin and Maya and Anirananda. Anyway, so and they were propagating industrialization. They were propagating, like economic development.
そういう人たちがそれ宣伝して、経済発展などを進めるわけです。
Hard work, developing the society.
一生懸命働いて社会を繁栄させよう。
This very hard work that Pavarga points towards.
プラバルガというのはとても重労働ということです。
Then welfare activities. That is also part of it, like be good towards others and just, help materially, develop everything materially. Everything should be, we have to create our own heaven here on this planet.
ですから他の人に何か、心地よいことをしてあげようという、そして物質的な繁栄をさせよう。で、この世界を天国にしてしまおうと考えます。
So that they can, inspire people to start working very hard, very, very hard, just in order to be able to think that they're God.
まあですから、一生懸命それに啓発させて、一生懸命働かせて、神になれるよというふうに言うわけです。
But it's so ironical, actually. What kind of God is that it has to work so hard?
まあ、一生懸命働く神っていうのはどういう神でしょ
It doesn't have time for anything
う他のことをする
except for that work.
その仕事ということ以外は何もないような、どういう種類の神なんでしょう。
And we see even here how people they're working so hard.
ここでもそうです。とても一生懸命働きます。
And okay, fine, you get some material, opulences, but it's just definitely nothing that can satisfy the soul.
まあ、それがいいです。まあ、そういう財産をさらにもらうわけです。しかし、魂に関しては何もそこで言えることはありません。
But since they don't have that understanding that there is a soul, even that much is not there. At least my bodies, at least that much they know. But most of the people don't even know that there is a soul. So they just all act on the bodily principles.
まあ、前までは魂だということは理解していますが、ほとんどの人はそうではなくて、魂のことすら分かっていませんから、そういう原則を知らないので、この別世界に苦しまなきゃいけない。
They act on the material principles, and then the only point is just work hard, work hard. You didn't work sufficiently hard, you have to work even more harder. That's the point. And then you will be happy, actually.
まあ、物世界の原則というものをこしらえて、もう一生懸命働くこと、そうすれば幸福になれる。そういうふうに宣伝するわけ。
That they're just missing the whole point.
しかし大切なところをミスしています。
So this is like the example is given. If I travel from Osaka to Tokyo,
まあ、例えば私が大阪から東京に行くと、
and then somebody has given me a map of Tokyo, somebody here in the temple, and then we're in touch through the phone.
まあ、そうすると、ある人は大阪で、東京の地図をくれて、ここに、お寺があるよと冊信します。
But because the map there is like all this kanji and all these different letters are there, they're just misunderstood which place really which highway I have to take.
まあ、しかし、それを見ても漢字とかわからないことがいっぱいあれば、その場所が明確じゃないので、どの高速を使っているのかよくわからない。
And then therefore I just I ended up on the wrong highway.
それで間違った高速道路に乗ってしまうかもしれない。
And now, after a certain time, by that time I should have been already in the temples. Come here to what is this? Funabori.
船堀来るのに、
Funnyberry.
船
Funabori.
堀来るのに時間かかっちゃう。
時間になりますけども、この時間にまでに到着する、その時間になったら、その予定で。
その時間までに到着する時間があれば。
So I should have already been here by this time, but I'm just completely somewhere out. I still can't figure out where to go.
ある時間にここに到着する予定でしたけど、でも間違えたところに行ったので、今どこにあるかもわからない。
予定ではここに来る時間、今の時間にはこのお寺に来るはずだと。しかし高速道路に乗って今一体どこに自分がいるかわからない。
But I'm so convinced that I'm on the right path, and I'm just, and the devotee is also convinced that because I'm so convinced, and the devotee is also convinced that I'm on the right path, and then he just said, no, try harder, drive faster.
まあ、そうすると、いや、
be positive.
もっと速く走ればいいんだ、もっと速く走ればいいんだ。
Be positive, should be very positive
積
about
極的
it.
に考えろって。
And then so on, just to take a little break, I stop at some gas station, and you have all these books, how to be positive, have the positive attitude, how to be, more inspired, how to be self-confident, and just I stop and, buy some of those books and read some of those books,
で、ガスレスタンドで止まって、本屋さんの中に行くと、自己をコントロールする方法、ポジティブに考える方法、そういう本があって、それを読んだりする。
And I read all of that stuff just to motivate myself to drive faster and drive harder and to, to give more energy to it.
それに啓発されて、もっともっと速く走ろうとして、高速道路を走る。
But I don't realize that actually I'm on the completely wrong highway.
しかし、私の乗っている高速道路は間違った高速道路であ
I
る。
just missed the token going somewhere north,
僕は北の方に
Fukushima or
知らないとこ
something.
ろに行った。
Yeah. I just missed. I just missed a little bit, but I missed. It's just-
まあちょっとだけだったとしても、まあ間違いは間違いです。
So just trying harder is not going to get us to the right destination.
まあ一生懸命やったとしてもゴールに行くっていうわけではない。
So just trying harder, just to be happy and satisfied in this world, thinking that we are this body and we can make the body comfortable. That's the greatest misunderstanding,
まあ、その
misconception.
理解の間違いというのは、この世界で、最高で喜びでよと、この体が自分であると、体にまつわる喜びで、ここで幸せだ。それ自体が間違ったからね。
So this is why people work so hard.
まあ、ですから人々はものすごい一生懸命働くわけです。
Somebody else is gaining the profit out.
で、ある人はそうやって、結果を得てもらえるわけです。
Just like anything you sell, anything actually of course, anything you're buying anything you're buying, the real cost of that product, it's so many times less than what they're selling.
なんか、会社の世界で、なんか売っててそれを買うと。でも買ったものの本当のかかってるお金は安いの。
But no, just we have to think if it's so expensive, wow, then it must be something really important and bad.
しかし高いものを売っていれば、これはものすごく価値あるものだと、そういうふうに勘違いしてし
It's
まう。
just interesting condition psychology.
それはこの制約された魂の心理学です。
Or if you work like this very hard, then we think that yes, that's something that's very valuable to work as such. It's important.
まあ、とても非常に熱心に働くことは、とても価値あることだというふうに考えてしま
And then you get something for it and you think it was worth it.
う。で、働けば何かもらえる。
But actually, it wasn't. If you would have been doing your own business, then you would actually understand how much more you can earn, and not by working by somebody else. So that's called Shudra mentality. Shudras are just the ones who are just, enabling others to exploit them, what to do,
まあ、
or Vaishyas to exploit them.
まあ、バイシャとかシューダーとか、まあ、しかし今はシューダーのその心情の社会になってしまっている。
Of course, that's not even Vaishya and Shudra. That's lower than that because Vaishya and Shudras have some, they follow religious principles there.
しかし本当はもちろんシューダーやバイシャっていうのはちゃんとした社会制度の中でその行動基準っていうのを守るべきものです。
Varnashram Dharma doesn't mean that each class kind of exploits each other for their own benefit. No, they complement each other.
まあ、これ、バルナシラマ体制というのは全ての社会が協力するためにあるわけであって、他の階級の人に恩恵があるように強調するものです。
So that's a big misconception about the caste system, so to say, and so on. No, in reality, they complement each other. They help each other. They encourage each other.
まあ、カーストというのは、これは誤った理解です。本当はみんなが幸福になって、それぞれ啓発し合うためにそれバランスしたのがあるわけです。
They share things with each other. They try to elevate each other. Like Brahmana, he would teach others because genuinely he would want them to come to the platform understanding that he has.
まあ、ですからお互いに発展するためにバランスしながら、でそこでバラマナが教える役割です。
But now the modern education is yes, if I disclose all my secrets and this and that, immediately someone else is going to be my competition. I'm not going to do that. Just I'm going to teach them the other way around, how they can work hard and how I can exploit them.
まあ、しかし今ではこれは秘密だからということでそういうことを教えなかったり、競争原理の中でそういうものは教えませんよと。
So all these, be self-confident, be motivated, be very have a positive attitude. It's just big cheating.
まあ、でも自己実現とか、自分を啓発させる、そういう書物、それはみんな偽物です。
You're suffering in this world. Yes, be positive. Sometimes in the future it's going to be better.
まあ、この世界で苦しんでいると、いや、何が違うよ。もっと積極的に考えて、将来良くなるんだと考えよう。
Just like one devotee gave an example, he said, be positive. Somebody punches you in the face and you should be positive about it. Yes, very nice. Okay.
誰かに殴られたら、もうそれは、いや、積極的にポジティブに
It's not so
明るく考えろ。 殴られたってニコニコしてると、そういうふうに。
It's not sufficient just to be positive, It just, it makes no sense.
まあ、ただ、ポジティブになるというのは、それはまあ別にセンスになることではないわけです。
Yes, you can be positive about something that you can substantially experience initially that it's valid. From the beginning, from the start.
最初はそれ。最初にそれを考えることはいいんですけど、
Something that is really pleasing to the soul.
まあ、何か魂のためにやらなきゃいけない。
Not again something that is related to the material part.
逆にこの物質世界のものにつながろうとしてやるべきではないです。
So therefore this working hard and, even foaming to that extent, at what cost? We see the success in the material world is at what cost?
まあ、ですから一生懸命働いてこの物質世界で幸せになると。
People do work hard, but then what is happening with in relationships within the family?
まあ、一生懸命働くことで、この家族の関係というのはどうなんでしょうか。
They have no time for each other.
お互いに家族で話し合う時間も取れない。
They think money is gonna bring happiness or something like this. No, money never brings happiness.
まあ、お金が自分たちに幸福を与えている。
Actually, it said the time equals love. What is real love and care? That's the time that is given.
愛というのは時間です。時間を与えることがにつながる。
And not anything else.
他にはないです。
So we see how people are working, as we said, so hard, but how much they spend, together, how much time they spend together.
まあ、一生懸命働いて、どれぐらいの時間、やるの時間を持つでしょうか。
Yeah. So, like once I remember, Kamakana Maharaj, he gave one interesting example. He said that when he was temple president, so everybody would come to him, with all the different problems and issues, and just kind of he would just be overloaded throughout the day with this. So sometimes he would sneak out to Govardhan.
まあ、川間さんとテンプルベリーにおいて、いろんな問題を人々は持っていると。で、それで辛くなってゴバルダンに行く。それで大変なんでゴバルダンに時々。
And he would just chant there.
そこでちょっと唱える。
And then he was just at one field very close by, and one farmer came.
まあ、広場に行ったら、そのどっかの家族がいました。
And then the farmer came and he said, "This is my land."
農家が来て、ここは私の土地ですよ。
And they started discussing like a little bit, and then he asked him, "Okay, this is your land." It was like kind of he said like kind of little childish conversation, like really basic things. "Oh, this is your land. Okay, what you're growing here?" So he said, "Yes, I'm growing this and this." And I was like, it was very very simple conversation. He took it very lightly, kind of.
まあ子供みたいな感じで、まあシンプルな話だったんですが、ここは私の土地ですよ。どんなものが育ちますよと。そういうやりとりがありました。
So then, but the point was that this farmer, he said, he comes there, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening or something like this to do the work.
まあ、その仕事というのは朝の1時間、夜1時間、そういう仕事でした。
And then the rest of the day, he's just chanting, reading, and doing puja. That's all.
その他の時間は考えて、読んで、そういうスピリチュアルな活動をしていました。
So the Maharaj was just, taken aback. It's like, wow, this is real spiritual practice. This is the way really to live simple living and high thinking.
でこれがその、川間さんが見て、これがもうシンプルな生活をしながら高い思想を持つ理想的な生き方だなと、そう感じました。
So he understood that this person actually far more intelligent than how he initially had understood him to be.
まあこの農業やってる人はよっぽど知性があるなと。
He was just working as much it was necessary for him to sustain himself and the family, whatever would come from that land, and the rest of the time he was just practicing spiritual life.
そう必要以上に働いて家族との時間も取れないと。で、スピリチュアルな生活も取れない。いろんなのが普通の生活。他の人なのに、この人はそうじゃない。
He created his own time. He created his own whatever schedules, whatever he's gonna do.
まあ自分は自分の時間をちゃんと作って、その計画を立てて。
And of course, based on spiritual priorities.
それはもちろん精神的に必要なことに関してです。
Whereas, of course, if you're employed by somebody else, there's no hope for doing anything. when you're employed by someone else.
それを他の人に表現する。
他の人のために仕事すると、こういう時間の調整とかできる。
他の人のためにすごく働くと、こういうふうな時間を取ることは全くできない。
You just can't do that. And then no matter what your priorities are, you have to serve the priorities of somebody else.
まあ大切なことをあるのに、それを他の人のために、他のことのために時間を割いてしまうことになっちゃう。
So actually, that's why Prabhupada said 50% of my mission is not completed. Varnashram Dharma has to be established.
まあ 50% がバラナシラマを確立しても、50% もや。
Prabhupada said he didn't complete 50% of his activity because he wanted to establish one national.
そのことをやったと。しかし、あと 50% のバラナシラマ確率はまだしている。
And part of that Varnashram system, or like almost quite larger part of it, is our farm communities.
まあそのバラナシラマシステムの中での部分的なものは農業のシステムです。
And mostly, therefore, for the families to live in such kind of farm communities.
まあ一般的にほとんどは農業のそういう場所では、家族が住んでいます。
Where they can, then create their own priorities and schedules.
で自分で大切なことをスケジュールして実行することができる。
And live very simply, just being independent, just being self-sufficient out of land.
そして土地に頼ってとても質素な生活ができます。
Land and cows.
土地と牛です。
And just have a simple life, simple godly life.
とても質素な人生になります。
And then there's plenty of time, to associate with devotees, to have kirtan together, to study together, to do so many spiritual activities.
まあそして献身者との交際、キルタン、勉強がたくさんできます。
Because the idea was actually, then that would be mostly for the families, and then sannyasis and brahmacharis would go to cities and they would preach in the cities.
でそ
Mostly
れは、
translated.
家族ばっかりなんで、サニヤシーがブラマチャリがいて、お話をしたりします。
So it's not that there are no cities and this and that, but of course nowadays everybody's, and that's another reason, that these industrialists have been preaching that everybody should leave their, countrysides and villages and lands, and they should just cram into the cities so they can be exploited like this.
だから、工場なんかで、仕事は工場なんですけど、みんなその工場のところに近くに住む。移動する。そして、農業とかの場所が、そっちに移動しちゃう。
And they were all tempted by very, very easy promises of, like sense gratification, because that's what city offers. You can very easily, enjoy, so to say.
街では簡単に何か楽しむことが、いっぱいあります。
You come to Mumbai and see what's enjoyment, local trains and stuff. It's complete mayhem. People thinking like it's.
ムンバイなんかでも、その電車なんかに乗ると、すごい感覚なんです
Yeah, such a suffering. You can't even enter the train. They have to form all these chakra vyuha and needle vyuha and everything just to enter in and then to enter out. There's a whole system, which they have already worked out, just to enter or get out of the train. It's like.
ムンバイでは、その電車に乗ったり、降りたりするのは、
すごい難しい。
大変そうですね。また皆さん、大変なんですね。システムがちゃんとしてない。
And they think, yes, we are happy. We are getting so much money. For what? For you don't have time for anything. You waste everything for your health to gain it back.
それでお金をそういう人たちは儲けて、楽しめると。しかし、ものすごい時間の無駄をしてしまう。
And then, of course, there's hardly any agriculture, all bought by all the big companies. Of course, in India, still luckily there's some villages, but in the West, practically, I think maybe 10% in US on people living out of land and on the land.
アメリカなんかでも、多分その農業は10%ぐらい外でその農業をしていると思うんですけど。
But in India, it's also declining, unfortunately, very rapidly.
インドでは、不幸なことにその農業の人が出てる。
I understood here in Japan, most of the things are pretty much imported also, right?
そこのポイントはもう日本ではとても重要な問題になっています。
So then Prabhupada also would say, what's the point? You can't eat nuts and bolts. What's the point of all your big factories and this and that? than paying so much for just the basic needs, food and
食べ物がなくなってしまう。そこで工場で作る食べ物も結局はそっちからの生産に支えてますから、農業がなかったらもう食い物がありません。
And then even that food that you're getting is just garbage practically. It's like I had one thing where once I invited him for one program in Mumbai. He was from Israel. So then, you know, he was saying what they're eating. So that was the expression. It was very funny. It's like it's very extreme. Actually, I'll tell that story later. He completely ruined my class because I just thought, you know, everything opposite that they were, you know, hoping for. You know. Anyway, so yeah, that's what, you know, like you have like like Chinese tofu, you know, it's completely chemical, forbidden in Hong Kong and everywhere, you know, it's like complete plastic. You know, or the rice also, and it's like amazing, you know, it's just and all GMO stuff, you know, hellish. Yeah. So you know, it's just that everything becomes cheaper and more profitable. That's all. That's all. What's the people's mentality? So what kind of gods people have become like this? You know, just ridiculous.
そういう人々の考え方というのは、できるだけ儲けたいから、それを安く生産するために化学物質をいっぱい使う。
So all these educational systems are also under control of these big industrialists.
まあ、すべての教育というのはそのように工場からのインダストリー、工場産業に関する教育。
産業がコントロールしてるんですか。
産業の人たちが。
So they dictate what the syllabus is and what people should be, you know, therefore learning, imbibing, and the way they would think and live their lives. Yeah, so they dictate how the life should be lived and what should be taught and on basis of, you know.
まあ自分の人生どうあるべきかというのは考える基本です。
You know, and then we buy into this just thinking that you're going to be, you know, God. You know, that's really ironical, unfortunately.
まあこんなことにみんな神になるというのは人生だと。そういうふうに考える。
So and the best thing is that they just don't see what's going on because also unfortunately they don't have an alternative. They don't have a different knowledge.
まあ不幸なことに彼らはそれ以外の知識を持ち合わせていない。
You know, we have been fortunate that we have been given in Omagyan Timirandasya. We've been shown the light out of this darkness.
まあしかし私たちはその暗闇の中のライト、光を持っています。
You know, so then if you don't utilize that, then we are not Adama, the most, you know, unfortunate. You had the opportunity, you don't use it. That's not Adama.
まあしかしそのような光を持って知識を持っているにもかかわらずそれを使わなければならないというところが人類になってしまう。
So in spite of all this work, in spite of even if you gain something, then comes Ba, which stands for, you know, Bayantara or frustration, disappointment.
まあ働いて何か得たとしても、バヤンタラ、フラストレーション、そしてがっかりすることになる。
You know, so in spite of, you know, all this endeavor to conquer our birth, old age, disease, and death, which science is trying to promise us, you know, so hardly, you know, this and that. So in spite of all this hard work to the extent of foaming, but still there is disappointment, there is dissatisfaction.
まあ、サイエンス、科学者たちは小老病死をいずれ解決しようということで一生懸命やってるんだけども、結局は一生懸命働きながら結果を得られるんで、がっかりするためにちゃう。
And then comes Ba, which stands for Baya or fear. So much fear, so much anxiety.
まあ、そしてバヤ、たくさんの恐れとか、そして心配事がいっぱいあります。
You know, will I gain something? Will I be able to do this on time? This, that, and even if you do, then how to preserve this from that somebody else doesn't take it? How to, you know, this is my area. This is my this is my, whatever. You know, there's so much fear, so much anxiety to somehow.
まあ、これでこのような時間にこれをすれば、まあ、こうなれるとか、このエリアは私のものだ、私の家だとか、ここまでが昔だとかっていうことで、みんな恐れや心配でいっぱいです。
So Papa, Baba, Ma, and finally Ma, Mrityu, that's all. That's the result. That's the final.
まあ、これが結局そのパパの結果です。
So it's just everything contrary to the promises of Mayavadis that you can become a god. Throughout the whole process, you can see that there's nothing as such. And what to speak of the result and so somebody has really have to be foolish, not to understand what's going on.
まあ、ですから、みんなこの2枚割りの影響を受けて、まあ、そういう結果は惨めなもので、まあ、これは愚かなことです。みんなそういう、まあ、理解してないわけです。
So all these conceptions, even from the Vedic point of view, karma kanda conceptions like these karma mimamsa we discuss and so on, just that we can be happy in this material world, it's a complete illusion.
まあ、たとえベーダの教えに従うとしても、ダルマ・ミマンサなどは、この物質世界で幸福になれるというふうに考えます。
So it's dangerous, even piety is dangerous because piety can, there is a tendency to become proud and commit offenses then also if somebody is opulent, proud and so on. And this is also cause of the fall down.
まあ、そのように、経験が活動したとしても、その富でもって、それに執着して、この世界でまた、縛られてしまう。
So ultimately there is always danger that, we don't really reach, the goal, means we don't reach Krishna.
まあ、いつも危険なわけです。その人々はそういうお金とか富を求めるわけですが、本当のゴールはクリシュナです。
So this is why ultimately Krishna points out, he says, Sarva Dharma Parichaja, just reject all these different lower dharmas. Now reject everything, surrender unto me. Don't worry, I will protect you.
まあ、究極の教えは、だからクリシュナです。すべてのダルマを全部手放して、個人的に私に従えば守ってあげますよ。
Even to the point of rejecting all the Vedas. Traigunya Vishaya Vedanis, Traigunya Bavarjuna, Nitvan Vunitya Satyastva Niryoga Kshematma. Just, rise above all this flowery language, all these promises, all this and that for the material, this and that. Just...
まあ、ですから、すべてのベータをいっぱい説明したので、それを全部捨てちゃいと。で、花言葉、甘い言葉に惑わされて、物質世界に冷めてはいけません。
Because none of those really will ultimately help you and make you satisfied, bring you to the point of your natural constitution.
まあ、本当の自分の自然な幸せというのはそこに極めます。
Because as long as you think that you're the body and you try to make body comfortable and satisfied and this and that, it's still all part of this pavarga.
まあ、例えば体を調子いいと、すごく満足しているとしても、しかしパワーがはいつもそれに関わっています。
So this is why Shukadev Goswami is advising, said, therefore come to the path of apavarga, just the opposite. So no more hard labor, no more fear, no more frustration, disappointment, no more death.
まあ、ですから、その先生は言っています。パワーがに道に転換しなさい。そうすればがっかりしたり、恐れたりすることから完全に自由になれる。
But for that, we have to become serious about spiritual practice.
まあ、そのためには、スピリチュアルな生活を真剣に行わないといけない。
And surrender more and more because we know how strong, that identification with the material body is. It's the most difficult thing also practically in some ways.
もっともっと、もっと復習しなければいけません。なぜかといえば、私たちの体への自分が肉体であるという自己認識が強力だからです。
It's the grandest of the illusions.
グランデス。
It's the biggest illusion.
幻想の中の最も強力なものです。
Working so much for this body, trying to make it comfortable, this and that. And what is the payment? How does body reward us after all of this care and time and energy?
まあ、しかし、一生懸命働いて体のために、体を便利にというか、楽しむためになっているわけですが、しかし、体の本当の理由は何でしょうか？
You work for the body, for the health, and do so many things, and then how does body reward you? Old age, disease, and death. That's the final payment you get, gratitude that the body expresses towards you. Finally.
まあ、体はそういうふうに心地よく保とうと思っても衝動としてやっていると。それで、何のための人生でしょうか？
Throughout the world, even you examine any kind of other tradition or religious thought, you'll see mostly they're all just pretty much material. They're all just basing all their teachings on the material body.
まあ、世界中見ても、その歴史、トラディショナルって歴史 統的なものを宗教なんか見ても、ほとんどが物質的な体にまつわる教えにとどまっています。
They're talking about, cooperation, tolerance, so many things and this and that, but they're still so heavily, on the bodily concept.
みんなで協力しましょう。その教えというのは協力して、仲良くしましょう。みんなに一生懸命、やって耐えましょう。我慢しましょう。しかしそれはみんな体に関する教えです。
Always thinking just me and mine.
いつも私たちは私の私がということを考える。
Whatever is in relationship to this is the best. Everything else, can be even exploited to the extent.
しかしこのような生き方が最高なんですよと、そういうふうに教育されます。
So all the different conceptions of racism, casteism, this and that, whatever it is, there's no question of resolving any of those as long as people think that they're the body.
このカストとかいろんな多様性な教えがあったとしても、問題はこの体の関するコンセプトの教えだということです。
Because then still everyone claims some kind of exclusivity over somebody else. As in something special, unique,
私は特別だと、そういうふうにみんなやっぱ思いたいわけです。私だけが特別だ。
Yes, they may be doing the same thing, this and that, but still nothing compared to.
ちょっとするかもしれないけど、比べてみればやっぱり自分のが特別なんだと、人はそう思いたい。
So this is why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he also like here, this is the first lesson he's teaching Arjuna. First you understand this, your attachments to your relatives and to whomever you're going to fight now, and it's all just wrong. It's a big misconception because you don't understand what is good for anybody.
ですから、バガバディギターでクリシュナがアミタに教えている。最初のところは、あなたは戦いなさいと。で、あなたは家族に執着していますから、そういった家族での執着というのは全く体の意識で全く間違いであると。あなたは本当に自分のために何がいいかを本当に知りませんよ。
As long as you think that, helping their materialist bodies to be comfortable and happy in this material world, that's never gonna, make them happy actually.
しかし
Neither it will make you happy.
あなたは体のを快適に保つためのことだけこの物質界で快適に保つというそのレベルでしかその喜びを得ようとしていませんが、しかし本当はそれは喜びじゃないんですよ。
So this is where spiritual life starts. That is the foundation. First, understand that you're not this body, that you're spirit soul.
これが基本です。精神生活の基礎はあなたは体でなくて、あなたは精神である。
So that is spiritual life.
これが精神生活です。
If that understanding is there, no matter what goes on in the name of spiritual life, it's not spiritual.
そういったものが理解できてなかったら、名前は精神生活でも精神生活ではありません。
And this is a beginning.
しかしもちろんこれは、初めです。
Because then again, you may understand that you're spirit soul, but then you may think that I have to merge with the absolute soul, and then I am that absolute soul also. So that's another trap of mine. That's the last trap of mine.
もちろんそれは始まりがあります。もし例えば自分が体ではない、魂だと分かったとしても、至上主と一体になると。自分が神になると。これは最後のマヤのトリックです。
Thinking that I can become God and I am God.
神になると。私は神だと。そういうコンセプトで。
I'm not material, yes, I'm spiritual, but I'm that absolute spiritual.
私はものではないと。精神だ。しかし、至上の精神だと。そういうふうに誤って感じてしまう。
You become so blissful being liberated from, the sufferings of material miseries that you start identifying with that bliss, thinking that you're that bliss.
そして、疾苦の状態に解放されて、物質生活から惨めになってしまったと。惨めから自由になったと。そうすると自分が至上であると。そう考えてしまう。
So this is why we have to be very serious actually about spiritual life if you want to reach the proper, destination.
本当にちゃんとしたところに到達しようとすれば、とても真剣にそういったことを理解していなければなりません。
And this is why here again, this is the first now instruction, interestingly, that they point out to King Chitraketu, Nardrishi and Angira Muni. They're saying, this body and all these relationships, they're so temporary.
まあ、これが最初のポイントでありまして、なぜだと、アンギラ弟子が指導できるように言ったわけです。これはこの世界の一時的である。
See, also all these different religious practices, they all think that all the families, same families will go, back to heaven and live there eternally.
まあ、たくさんの宗教は、家族がみんな天国に行って永遠に天国に行こう。
And in US they have that song, thy bones shall rise again, thy bone, collarbone to collarbone. This is a song.
大盆、これ盆って何ですか？
Yeah, they think that this is resurrection. The resurrection it refers to the material body.
この考え方、アメリカの考え方はとにかくこの物質の体が自分だという基本です。
They don't consider reincarnation. They threw that out. But the point is, they consider resurrection. But resurrection is applicable only to the spiritual body.
まあ、物質の体で幸福であると。しかし、それのみで、スピリチュアルな体のみが本当の至福の状態に。
Somebody who already in the material world appears within the spiritual body, then he can ascend, or become purified to gain spiritual body within this life. Like Pandavas, they went. Bhagavatam explains that with very same bodies they went to the spiritual world.
まあ、ですから、この物質の体に入っているときに重視になって、そして初めてスピリチュアルな体に移行します。
So that's the problem when people don't have a philosophy. You see that so many misconceptions.
まあ、問題は人々はそういう正しい哲学はないだけじゃなくて、たくさんの誤った理解をしています。
This is why, like in Judaism, that they have a conception if somebody is killed by someone or even, blown by some blast or this and that, they try to collect all the parts and put them together in the casket. Because they're so bodily conscious. It's incredible. So then that person can be together.
なんかバラバラになっちゃった体を合わせれば、裏切りしないんで。そしたらまた蘇生する。すごい体の。
So I don't know how they say, but like in Christianity, when the judgment days come and stuff, that they can rise then,
ジャッジメントの法の場に判決、判決裁判なんでね。
But what if your body becomes part of something eatable for some other living being? What if some other living being eats part of your body? Then what happens? Anyway, it's just ridiculous, just that whole conception. You're in the grave, and then the bones will rise again, and then you'll be the same person. Gee, I don't want to be a same person. I would rather die than to be a same person. It's like rather merge with, in that sense, like you want to be the same person. No, that would be a curse, It's like. And then sometimes being in the same family, having same mother-in-law and father-in-law or something, all these things, it's like, what a curse, It's like sometimes even closer members sometimes. But then they say, no, in the heaven everything will be fine or something. It's funny. Anyway, I don't know how it's here in Japan. They think that same family will even afterlife or something.
Afterlife is said. Many people said if you die, everybody will to heaven.
Yeah, it is there. Yeah, that's why I have all these big tombs and things and offerings and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty strong also. Pretty strong bodily conception. Amazing.
まあ体のコンセプトでいろんな儀式があったりするのだからこういう肉体式なものすごく強いわけです。
But anyway, it's just really big illusion.
まあとにかくこれはみんな体に関する大きな幻想です。
Because anyway, what's the evidence that you're going to be with the same persons again in your next life? First of all, whether you're going to go to heaven, that's a big thing. That's I'm pretty doubtful. And then what to say, even in the next life, you're going to be associating with the same personalities.
まあですから結論で言ってるのは同じ人がまた生まれて天国に行って同じ人と親しい人と一緒になれるのか、まあそういうふうに考える。
Whereas you see, actually, evidence points out to just contrary. Contrary, just opposite.
ですからその結論というのは逆です。
except if somebody, like a devotees, they might in some ways, who knows, of course, where is our position in the spiritual world, but so that within the ISKCON, kind of the idea that's another big family within the spiritual world, centered around Srila Prabhupada. So maybe in that sense, we continue serving there.
同じような言い方をするんですが、しかし違います。それは、そのポジションというのは、精神生活でのポジションとして、イスコンというメンバーがまたスピリチュアルな世界で、プラバーをもとに、ファミリー。
Because essentially every sampradaya, promotes certain mood, and then certain mood means certain relationship, and certain relationship points out to certain destination within the spiritual world, whether Goloka or Vaikuntha or so on.
実際それぞれのサンプラダイアでのムードがありますから、その指定決のムードがありますから、それぞれのやり取りの中で精神的な体をまた心からでやるということがあります。
So most likely, if you appeared in certain, you're satisfied within certain spiritual practice like that, in that mood, that means, that's pretty close to your svarup, and that's most likely where you're gonna, go.
さまざまなムードで、高い高いの話でしょうけど、その満足感がある人は、それに近い座るかという元の姿を持つわけですから、そういう世界にいざなわけです。
So anyway, the point here is that Angira and Narada Muni, they try to enlighten the king and the queen and to dissipate their sorrows, trying to make them understand that the spirit soul is eternal, and the body is the temporary, and the body is the source of all miseries, and they shouldn't be lamenting, just like Krishna told
ですから、アンギラとナラダは王様お姫様に、それ分かるように説明したわけです。この世界は一時的な世界で、あると。で、永遠の世界がではない。そして体は惨めなもんで、それらのことに悲しんだり、
There's no use to lament for something that is temporary, but it's temporary and it will never endure.
ですから、ソーチャン、ソーチャンというバガバリーダン2章のところで、この一時的な体のことでその変化で嘆いてはいけないという教えです。
Hare Krishna. I think we should stop here. So 7:40. So any questions maybe?
何か質問あります？どうぞ。
Yes.
Yeah, actually, today's class is very helpful for me because my work situation for last 2-3 weeks is so tight. I was missing this, I was feeling that I'm missing something, I'm doing something wrong. But, but now it became clear, because it's the more time you spend, the more it requires.
Yeah, it's just
ending.
Yeah.
Something wrong. I'm doing something wrong.
We had to draw the line somewhere. At some point, just say it. They will also never be satisfied. Nobody will ever be satisfied. But then at what cost? Then we ruin our spiritual life practically.
So my question is that my feeling is because we are generally people so much many times samsara. So they have a connection very strong, it's family connection, society connection. So they are again same family, but maybe different body. That's possible.
Well,
but same mind also bring.
Not really. Because the karma is so varied, it's just like likely that that's gonna really happen in exactly the same way. Maybe with someone, but then the other members will be different. Just now in Okinawa, there is one potential devotee, and I was just there, so he told me that he's actually British. And maybe they're listening. So it's like, so Kairava's husband. So he told me, but when we had a little class on this, so he told me actually I have a very strong feeling. I had even like images which makes me very emotional that he used to be in Okinawa before. So it's like it's like so. And anyway, he told me some details about it.
で、
and
カル
stuff.
マの質問ですけど、今日聞いた話の中で、人が社会に執着しているから、それものすごく強いと日本では特にそうですけど、アメリカにそうです。で、そうするとまた同じメンバーで生まれる可能性はものすごく強いような気がするんですよ。まあ、そうとも言えないと。そういう人もいるかもしれないけど、構造は複雑なので、そうは言えません。でも沖縄である転身者が、自分がその沖縄に外国から来たんだけど、沖縄にすごく執着していて、多分先生沖縄。
You know, because of attachment or whatever leftover karma or this, you may come back to the same place, but not be with the same persons necessarily.
同じ場所に執着して生まれるかもしれませんが、同じ人物、同じ性別ではない。
Because he didn't recognize anybody else or something, you know. And we see, I've heard so many stories, like really genuine stories, you know, in India. Anyway, not clip, you know. Yeah, you know, remembering their past lives, you know, and they have nothing to now. It's a completely different circumstance. Or sometimes there are some stories, you know, somebody has been somebody else in their life, you know, maybe some connections are there, but then the relationships are reversed and things like that, you know. But again, the whole family, you know, it doesn't happen. It's just that's a grand illusion.
まあですからそういう例えば今は全く違う人物なんだけど前世を思い出すと。だからまあそれを繰り返しているわけですが、家族がみんなでまた同じ家族が集まるということはまずないです。
So that's why that's too strong attachment shouldn't be there. The real understanding should be yes, we're there to help each other in Krishna consciousness. So well, let's see in the spiritual world how will we relate in relationship to Krishna. Yeah.
まあしかし家族が強い執着を持ったとしてもクリシュナ式であれば、そこの関係がクリシュナにつながっている関係で、そしてクリシュナに到達する。But the devotee also, I have karma, so mostly previous life also together. I feel so much.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
not necessary.
Because one sense very similar quality we have.
Oh, you mean we were devotees? We might have been devotees before. Here?
Here. I feel my feeling.
Maybe. I don't know.
まあ、デボティはどうですかという質問をしたんですが、まあ、多分そうかもしれない。
Okay, so we'll stop.
Thank you very much.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
じゃあ今日は夜で終わりで、明日は、ここ朝5時に出ますので、あと夜1回で終わりです。今日の夜はもう、How about tonight? What is the topics? 何がいいでしょうか？ギターがいいでしょうか？ハレクリシナ。